It's happening across the country and around the world. People are turning to the trusted financial expertise of Team RBC to perform at the top of their game. For over 100 years, in banking, wealth management, and capital markets, with more than 18 million clients, there's never been a better time to join us.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us here today at this seminar. My name is Mark Beckles, and I'm the Regional Vice President for RBC in Scarborough, Pickering, and Ajax, and the pleasure falls to me to welcome you here this evening. We've got a wonderful event arranged for you this evening about cross-border real estate purchases.
I would like at this point to introduce one of our partner, internal RBC bank partner. He is our cross-border segment advisor. He has more than 10 years experience in the U.S. banking. He's based in Orlando. Please welcome Frédéric Potvin.
Thank you, and don't let Alain fool you. I know he's from Montreal, but he's no longer a Habs fan. He's been converted to a Florida Panthers fan, which means he has a lot of comment with any Toronto Maple Leaf fans in the crowd here. Yeah. But of course, we wanted, before we invite our guest speakers to talk to you a little bit about our RBC Access USA package that we have available in the United States to help Canadians transact. With RBC Access USA, you're able to transfer funds directly from your Canadian dollar account with RBC Royal Bank to RBC Bank USA, whether online or through our dedicated 1-800-ROYAL-53 number. It's not a wire transfer, it's an instant transfer. It's there within seconds, and there are no wire fees associated with those transfers. With that said, I'd like to now introduce to you Vanessa Contav, who is our mortgage specialist from Florida, to talk to you about the mortgage solutions we have available to you in the U.S., and those are available in 46 states. So thank you very much, and Vanessa?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'm so proud of you guys trekking in the rain and the slush and the traffic to come and listen to us. That's really nice. As Frédéric said, there have been some horror stories about our mortgages in the U.S. I'm here to dispel the myths. It's not that bad. Of course, RBC being the great bank that we are, we like to offer you solutions for your financing needs on both sides of the border. Now, my usual theory when someone says to me, I'd like to buy property in the U.S., the first thing I say is, have you looked at your Canadian opportunities? Have you looked at getting an equity line on your home here? Or have you spoken to your Canadian mortgage specialist? For whatever reason, if you choose that you want to finance in the U.S., maybe you don't have enough equity, maybe you choose not to put up your house in Canada as collateral, whatever the case may be, I'm here for those financing needs.
And it's a pleasure to introduce one of my colleagues from Toronto. He is our regional sales manager mortgage. Please welcome Deepak Kapoor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to the opportunity to look at a potential purchase, one of the things that I've shared is, as Canadians and living in this great country of ours, what you and I have been able to experience is a lesser fluctuation, if you will, than what our American counterparts did in the U.S. on their property values. What this has actually done is allowed us to leverage that equity or take advantage of that equity to actually make this dream come true. And it all starts with speaking with your RBC mortgage specialist or financial advisor to find the mortgage that's right for you. And one of the things that we look at delivering on is our promise to advice that you can bank on, and that truly does speak to the motto that we live by. Each and every one of us will have a different need when it comes to our financing options, from needing flexibility and cash flow, from a need to pay down your mortgage rapidly. And I'm actually thrilled to share that we have a mortgage that fits your lifestyle. Other than the great rates that are available, there are fixed and variable mortgage rates that are available, and many a client that have asked my colleagues, our team members, or myself, Deepak, what should I take given the rate environment? Should I go fixed or should I go variable? And I give an answer that unfortunately my wife is never too thrilled to hear from me either, which is, it depends.
Our first guest speaker will talk about East Coast from, let's say, the Keys up to Daytona Beach. And then our second realtor speaker will talk more about the West Coast of Florida, mainly the area of Marco Island, Fort Myers, Naples, and this beautiful part also of Florida. So let's move now with our first real estate speaker. He is from Boca Raton, Florida, and he will talk a little bit more and share a beautiful visual with us for the east side and the East Coast. And he is a realtor broker, certified distressed property expert. He leads a team of professional realtors on the East Coast with over 10 years of experience in residential, commercial real estate. He's the native of Montreal. He was raised in Montreal and Toronto and got his MBA from Queen's University. Please join me in welcoming Sean Epremian.
Thank you very much, Alain. Good evening, everybody. It's great to be back in Toronto. If anybody needs seats, there's a couple of seats up front for those of you standing. Okay, the East Coast of Florida. Some of you may have heard of cities such as Daytona Beach, Cocoa Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Pompano, Hollywood, Hollandale, Sunny Isles. Geographically, 3 main counties in the southeast region. You've got Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, consisting of about 6.5 million people. So let's take a look at the Southeast Florida market report. Let's talk about pricing, median pricing. This is a blended graph. It shows the median pricing of condos and single-family homes. In 2007, it's just above $300,000, again, between condo single-family homes. And if we look at 2011, it's just above $150,000. Well, first, let me start off by saying that there are two very, very different things. Short sales and foreclosures are completely different. In simplistic terms, what a short sale is when the proceeds from a property do not cover what is owed to the lender. Whether there's 1 or 2 lenders involved, it doesn't matter. The proceeds from that sale do not cover what is owed to the bank. So let me give you an example. A couple purchases a property in 2007 for $200,000. There's a hardship in the family, someone loses their job. 4 years later, they have to sell that property. Unfortunately, the US practiced some pretty creative financing, and they had 100% financing with interest-only payments. So 4 years goes by, and this family has paid only interest. They've paid nothing towards their principal. They still owe the bank $200,000. Today, that property is worth $90,000. So there's a shortfall of about $110,000 that they would need to bring a check to closing, which they don't have. The difference between the $200,000 and the $90,000 is the shortfall or the short sale of that property.
Before we move forward with the second realtor expert presentation, I'd like to do a quick survey. Who right now in this room own a property in Florida? Please raise your hands. Okay, quite a few, yeah. And who in the room right now are contemplating or thinking to buy in the next few months or 6 months or 12 months? Who are? Okay, that's a pretty, sizable group. I remember seeing the article a couple of weeks ago, I think from one of the newspapers here in Toronto, that's showing that right now 1 Canadian out of 5 were thinking and contemplating to buy in the Sunshine State. So that respect this, obviously, this survey. Our next realtor speaker is from Naples, Florida, Southwest. He will talk about another beautiful part of Florida that Canadians also love. And this is really more like Marco Island, Naples, Fort Myers area. As a real estate agent, he works with his wife in Southwest Florida with over 10 years experience in this beautiful market.
Thank you, Elaine. How's everyone doing tonight? Good. Who wants to hear about Naples and Fort Myers area and what's going on down there? Yeah, it's a really nice area. I moved to Naples about 10 years ago. I did some research about what was the right place for me to live. And when I looked at Naples, I looked at the overall demographics. I looked at the median prices of homes, where was it safe, things like that. And When I added it all together, I went down and took a look at it, and I recommend that all of you do. It's one of the nicer areas that I found in Florida. Some of the things I'm going to talk about here is some statistics on the Canadian buyers and how many of you are buying in the state of Florida, and what parts of the state of Florida you're buying in. Why Naples? I'm going to give you some information about lifestyle and the things that are available to you in the Naples market. Real estate market conditions. I'm going to talk about where we were a few years ago, where we are today, both the sale price, where the homes are selling at, what's going on with our inventory, things like that.
At this point, it is now a time for introducing our last guest speaker for this evening. And him and his team, I should say, have been working with Royal Bank in Canada and RBC Bank in the US for over 10 years in helping Canadian residents to understand legal, tax, and estate issues related with owning or purchasing US properties. And he is a Florida attorney and a Canadian legal counsel with over 30 years experience in his area of practice. He is also managing director from Altro and Associates. Please welcome David Altro.
Thank you very much, Alain. And thank you very much to the RBC group for giving us the opportunity of being here today. Everybody still awake? Okay, good. So Alain asked a few questions and he wanted to know who's buying, who's this. I have my own question. Who's a Maple Leafs fan? Anybody here a Montreal Habs fan? Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to know. Fantastic. Listen, we put a little thing up on the board here about the pictures. You know, you could be enjoying the snow blizzards in Canada or down in Florida. Now, of course, I am Canadian. I grew up in Montreal, so I know all about shoveling snow, etc. So that's a nice little picture to give you a subliminal message. I am the managing partner of our law firm, Altro & Associates. We have a few offices, Montreal, Toronto, Calgary. We're opening in Vancouver in June. And in Florida, we have Sarasota, Naples, and Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood.
Okay, here's one problem that comes up a lot with our clients. This is Jacob. I own a Toronto Maple Leafs memorabilia store. I was advised to purchase my $1 million Florida condo under my wife's name for creditor protection. Now she's passed away and I can't sell the property because it's stuck in Florida probate for over a year and it's costing me $30,000.
See the issue? You own the property in your name alone, and if you pass away, you've got a probate issue in Florida. Anybody know what probate is? What is it, man?
At this point, we're of course getting close to our closing remarks. However, I think we can certainly open for questions for 5 minutes. I would like to ask you to stand up and speak loud because we have a lot of people in this room. Any question to our panel of experts and speakers will be welcome. So, do we have a first question?